Videos of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump have been making their way around social media. At a campaign rally in Pennsylvania, Trump was speaking to the crowd when a gunshot rang out. The former president was then seen clutching his right ear afterward. Being that Trump has had quite the run with World Wrestling Entertainment, a good number of WWE wrestlers have come out on social media to really express what they think about the current situation. So let's hear what these men have to say. Hulk Hogan. On July 13, 2024, former President Donald Trump narrowly survived an assassination attempt during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The incident took place just as Trump, 78, began his speech. Multiple gunshots rang out, with one bullet hitting Trump in the right ear, causing him to fall to the stage. Secret Service agents quickly surrounded him and rushed him away from the scene. Despite the chaos, Trump defiantly raised his fist in the air, his face streaked with blood. Later, he reassured the public that he was fine, despite the injury. WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan also commented on the event. He took to Instagram to express his thoughts, stating, "Today's events in Butler, Pennsylvania are deeply disturbing. No president, past or present, should face such a horrific act. Our thoughts and prayers are with President Trump, law enforcement, and the Secret Service, who bravely protect and uphold our shared values." He also gave a speech in support of WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump. During his speech, Hogan dramatically ripped off his shirt to reveal a Trump Vance t-shirt underneath, which sent the crowd into a frenzy. He declared that it was time to say, "Enough is enough," and proclaimed that Trump mania would make a comeback and take charge once again.
Enough was enough, and I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother.
Hogan openly expressed his support for Donald Trump, calling him a hero and proudly endorsing him for the upcoming presidential election. The wrestling champion praised Trump's ability to overcome challenges and expressed confidence that Trump's return to the presidency would bring positive changes to the country.
I'm here tonight because I want the world to know that Donald Trump is a real American hero. And I'm proud to support my hero as the next president of this United States.
Hogan also passionately encouraged everyone to support Trump, emphasizing that his leadership would bring back the values and opportunities that define the American dream.
This November, guys, we can save the American dream for everyone. And Donald Trump is the president who will get the job done.
Logan Paul. Another notable person on this list is Logan Paul. As a famous YouTuber, Logan Paul has a significant platform that allows him to easily engage in political discussions and controversies. Following the recent events involving former President Donald Trump, Logan Paul invited Trump for an interview on his podcast. In the interview, Logan expressed his views on X and wrote, "To survive an assassination attempt by mere millimeters, then stop your security so you can raise your fist in defiance of death is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. I hope everyone is okay. Find the shooter, the most gangster image of all time." It's clear at this point that Logan Paul is a strong supporter of Donald Trump, given the current political climate. During the episode, which featured a 45-minute interview with Trump, the former president encouraged young voters, including Paul's followers, to vote for him instead of President Joe Biden. Paul had also extended an invite to Joe Biden, but Trump remarked that Biden had a less than 1% chance of appearing on Paul's podcast.
We'd like to extend the invite to Joe Biden if he'd like to come on this podcast.
Yeah, I think
eventually.
you should. You know what chance you have of getting him on? I'd say less than 1%.
The impulsive interview aligns with Trump's ongoing effort to engage with social media as the November election approaches. With some young voters starting to reconsider their support for Biden, Trump has begun appearing on popular podcasts and other new media platforms. In recent years, he has been featured on conservative podcaster Tim Pool's show and with YouTubers the Nelk Boys. Earlier this month, Trump joined TikTok, and his second post on the platform was a video with Logan Paul, filmed right after their podcast interview. Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash, on the other hand, stressed the importance of enhancing security at public events. He compared the need for better protection at these gatherings to the pressing issues of school violence that the country faces. Sharing an image of Trump defiantly holding up his fist after the incident, Nash stated, "We need to cease these open-air security nightmares on the campaign trail. We can't secure our public schools from this violence. This was millimeters from a former president losing his life. Secret Service, fantastic job. To those killed and injured, my prayers. Kevin Nash is a veteran in the world of professional wrestling, having spent significant time at all the major wrestling brands during the peak of his career. He was closely associated with influential factions in the then WWF, such as The Clique, which included notable wrestlers like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Scott Hall. Nash also played an important role in founding the New World Order, now alongside Hulk Hogan and Scott Hall, a group that became one of the most iconic and powerful stables in wrestling history. His extensive experience and contributions have been the building blocks of his legacy in the industry. Despite the general stance of WWE wrestlers to avoid political involvement, Kevin Nash seems to be quite political. He announced his support for Donald Trump through a post on X. In his post, Nash shared that he spent an entire day wearing a cut-off Donald Trump t-shirt with the slogan, "Make America Great Again." His goal was to observe how people would react to it. After his experiment, Nash tweeted his conclusions. "Sported this shirt all day to see the responses I'd get. Hillary, you're in trouble, girl." JBL, a seasoned veteran in the professional wrestling world, is well known for staying informed about events beyond the wrestling ring. He keeps a close watch on significant happenings, especially those as momentous as the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. JBL's keen awareness of current events highlights his interest and engagement with issues outside of his wrestling career. JBL went to Twitter to share his thoughts on the situation where Donald Trump raised his fist in the air after the assassination attempt. Using terms familiar to wrestling fans, JBL described Trump as if he were performing in a wrestling match, saying, "Find the hard cam, don't sell. Former President Trump been watching the Road Warriors." According to JBL, Trump was looking at the hard cam, which is a term for facing the camera directly, and no selling the shooting, which he meant by pretending the attack had no effect. JBL joked that Trump must have been inspired by the Road Warriors, a famous wrestling team known for their tough, almost invincible persona. It's fascinating how even in serious situations, wrestling references find their way into the conversation. John Charles Layfield, widely recognized by his ring name Bradshaw or JBL, is a prominent figure in the world of professional wrestling. He's an American wrestling commentator, a retired professional wrestler, and a former football player. Currently, he is associated with WWE, where he serves as an ambassador for the company, promoting its brand and values. Beyond his wrestling career, Layfield has established himself in the financial sector. He is a financial commentator who regularly appears on Fox News and Fox Business, offering his insights and expertise on various economic matters. In addition to his media presence, Layfield holds a significant position in the financial industry as the senior vice president at Northeast Securities. Dustin Rhodes. AEW star Dustin Rhodes has joined the ranks of wrestling personalities around the world who have reacted to the recent assassination attempt on Donald Trump, the former president of the United States. Dustin Rhodes, a prominent name in professional wrestling, shared his thoughts on the situation with noteworthy comments. As a seasoned wrestler with a deep understanding of how the media and major events shape public perception, Rhodes offered a perspective that was both thoughtful and reflective. On the day of Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania, where he was campaigning as a United States presidential candidate, there was an assassination attempt on him. Fortunately, Trump survived the attack. In response to the shocking news, Logan Paul, Hulk Hogan, and other figures from the wrestling world have taken to social media to share their thoughts. On X, formerly known as Twitter, the former WWE star Rhodes expressed his reaction to the terrifying event and posted a message about it. "A lot of terrible division in this country, and it sucks. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Be compassionate and understanding." Dustin Patrick Runnels, an American professional wrestler, is widely known in the wrestling community for his extensive career and iconic personas. Currently, he is signed with All Elite Wrestling, AEW, where he performs under the ring name Dustin Rhodes, also known as The Natural. Runnels' wrestling career is distinguished by his multiple tenures in WWE, spanning from 1995 to 2018. During his time in WWE, he achieved fame under the ring name Goldust, a character that became a fan favorite and a significant part of WWE history. In addition to his WWE career, Runnels has also made notable appearances in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA, showcasing his versatility and enduring presence in the professional wrestling world. The Undertaker. After the recent incident involving former President Donald Trump, The Undertaker showed his support by posting 2 clapping hands emojis under a video of Hulk Hogan's 2020 speech. This gesture from The Undertaker is not surprising, considering his history of political endorsements. In 2020, The Undertaker was publicly listed as one of the endorsers of Trump's presidential campaign. Given this background, it makes sense that he would align himself with both Hulk Hogan and Donald Trump. His reaction is consistent with his past actions, showing his continued support support for figures he has previously backed. Even though he hasn't shared much about his political views, it's pretty clear that Mark Calloway, better known as The Undertaker, is a supporter of Donald Trump. Recently, he even received a shout-out from Trump, the presidential candidate, which adds to the evidence of his support. This isn't the first time The Undertaker has shown his backing for Trump. Back in 2020, he was listed as one of the endorsers of Trump's presidential campaign, although he was categorized as a non-political endorser. Despite not being very vocal about his political affiliations, The Undertaker's actions and acknowledgments from Trump himself make it evident where his loyalties lie. Given the dead man's consistent support for Donald Trump in the past, it's likely that his political alignment hasn't changed much since 2020. With the 2024 U.S. elections approaching, it wouldn't be surprising if The Undertaker is planning to cast his vote for Trump again. Seth Rollins. 24 hours after Hulk Hogan's speech, a quote was posted that said, "Politics is too serious a matter to be left to the politicians." Seth Rollins responded to this quote by saying, "Yeah, some messed up things going on right now. I just wish America and the world would make some better choices. Too much hate going on right now." Rollins' comment is centered on his concern about the current state of affairs and his hope for more positive and informed decision-making by the public. This shows that even within the wrestling community, there's a desire for change and a call for a reduction in hatred and division. Seth Rollins had previously mentioned in an interview that WWE stars who choose to discuss politics do so on their own, while others prefer to avoid political discussions altogether. His recent comment reflects this neutral stance, but also shows his concern over the current issues facing society. In that earlier interview, Rollins said, "It's not anything that's ever been addressed or discussed. The guys who want to make political statements seem to do so, and the guys who want to stay away from it don't say anything. It honestly hasn't been brought up privately or publicly at all." This statement tells us that WWE doesn't have an official stance on political expression, allowing its stars to voice their opinions individually. CM Punk. Taking to social media, CM Punk said, "Good will always defeat evil." Although CM Punk didn't directly mention Trump or Hogan, his comment seems to reflect his well-known support for LGBTQ+ rights, hinting that he might oppose both Trump and Hogan. Punk, whose real name is Philip Brooks, has a history of advocating for the LGBTQ+ community. Recently, the former World Wrestling Entertainment WWE champion made supportive remarks about the LGBTQ+ community at the end of a new show from All Elite Wrestling, AEW, called AEW Collision. These comments came after he faced criticism for promoting an ice cream bar on Instagram that supports transgender youth. Punk's actions and statements consistently show his commitment to LGBTQ+ rights. By speaking out in this way, especially in response to backlash, he reinforces his stance and continues to be a vocal ally for marginalized groups. This pattern of behavior suggests that his views likely extend to being critical of figures like Trump and Hogan, who may not align with his values of inclusion and support for the LGBTQ+ community. Philip Jack Brooks, born on October 26, 1978, is widely known by his ring name, CM Punk. He is an American professional wrestler, actor, and former mixed martial artist. Currently, he is signed to WWE, where he primarily performs on the Raw brand, but also makes occasional appearances on the SmackDown brand. CM Punk is renowned for his impressive 434-day reign as WWE champion, which is recognized as the 7th longest reign overall in the history of the championship. Cody Rhodes. In response to Hulk Hogan's video, Cody Rhodes commented under an Instagram post addressing racism, stating, "I've seen this both in my professional life and personal life, especially lately. It needs to be called out every time you witness it. Do not let people get away with it." Cody Rhodes' comment strongly suggests that he is criticizing both Hogan's support for Donald Trump and Hogan's past controversies involving racism. Cody Garrett Runnels Rhodes, born on June 30th, 1985, is an American professional wrestler. As of April 2022, he is signed with WWE, performing on the SmackDown brand. By April 2024, he achieved the status of the current undisputed WWE champion, holding both the WWE Championship and WWE Universal Championship in his first reign with each title. Cody is also widely recognized for his time in All Elite Wrestling from 2019 to 2022. During his tenure in AEW, he not only served as an executive vice president, but also became the inaugural AEW TNT champion, a title he held 3 times, setting a record. Coming from a wrestling family, Cody is the son of the legendary wrestler Dustin Rhodes and the half-brother of wrestler Dustin Rhodes. He first rose to prominence during his initial run with WWE from 2006 to 2016. Throughout this period, Cody experimented with various gimmicks under his real name. Eventually, he was rebranded as Stardust, a melodramatic character that was a spin-off of his half-brother Dustin's Goldust persona, The Rock. The Rock said, "People say some real bad things. They do some awful things too. We see it on the news every day. All we can do is put our best foot forward, try to love everybody, and work towards making this world kinder." The Rock's comment only advocates for kindness and positive action in response to negativity, reflecting his broader message of promoting love and unity, especially within the political battleground. Dwayne Douglas Johnson, born on May 2nd, 1972, is an American actor, professional wrestler, and businessman, famously known by his ring name, The Rock. Currently, he is signed to WWE, where he makes occasional appearances and is a member of the Bloodline faction. Johnson is widely regarded as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. His charisma, athleticism, and larger-than-life persona made him a key figure in the World Wrestling Federation, the WWF, which is now WWE, during the Attitude Era, a period marked by its edgy and highly popular content. The Rock wrestled full-time for the WWF for 8 years, becoming one of the most beloved and iconic wrestlers in the industry. His success in the ring laid the foundation for his subsequent career in acting, where he became a major Hollywood star. The Rock has been active in the political sphere over the years. He voted for Barack Obama in both the 2008 and 2012 presidential elections. However, he chose not to vote in the 2016 election and has identified himself as an independent voter since 2017. In the 2020 presidential election, Johnson publicly endorsed Joe Biden. Later, he expressed regret over this decision, stating that it had led to division among people. As a result, he decided not to endorse any candidate for the 2024 presidential election. Johnson has also shown interest in potentially running for president himself. In an interview with USA Today in February 2021, he mentioned, "I would consider a presidential run in the future if that's what the people wanted." This interest was further highlighted when an online poll revealed that 46% of Americans might consider voting for him in a presidential election. During an interview on the Today Show on April 12, 2021, he reaffirmed his goal, saying, "I do have that goal to unite our country, and I also feel that if this is what the people want, then I will do that." The mayor of Knox County, Kane, aka Glenn Jacobs, is one of the several athletes who have voiced their reactions to the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Jacobs, who is also the current mayor of Knox County, shared his thoughts and even brought up fellow wrestler Brock Lesnar in his discussion about the former president. Reflecting on the recent attempt on Trump's life, Kane stated that he had always considered Brock Lesnar to be the toughest person he had ever encountered. However, after witnessing Trump's response to the events of July 14, 2024, his perspective has shifted. Kane expressed his admiration for Trump's composure during the incident via a post where he stated that Trump was a true American leader, suggesting that Trump's reaction has redefined his understanding of toughness. During his January rally in Iowa, Donald Trump publicly endorsed Glenn Jacobs, who is currently serving his final term as mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. In front of thousands of supporters, Trump praised the WWE legend, which could significantly boost Jacobs' prospects if he decides to pursue a higher political office in the future. Trump, who was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013 as part of its celebrity wing, has a long history with the wrestling world. He has made multiple appearances on WWE television and played a crucial role in the memorable Battle of the Billionaires storyline at WrestleMania 23, where he faced off against Vince McMahon. Glenn Jacobs is a staunch supporter of Donald Trump's return to the White House. As a Republican like Trump, Jacobs currently serves as the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. His political alignment and aspirations align closely with Trump's, and he has consistently shown his support for the former president. Whether it's through his public statements or political actions, the Big Red Machine has always been vocal about his endorsement of Trump. With the upcoming elections, Jacobs continues to stand firmly by Trump. Steve Austin. At the Republican National Convention, Hulk Hogan made a splash by delivering a speech in which he praised Donald Trump, calling him his hero and expressing his commitment to support him. After his speech, Hogan participated in an interview to address questions and clarify his stance. In the interview, he explained, "I felt like I had to do it. Things went too far, and I felt like I had no choice but to speak up after the shooting incident." Supporting Trump is a contentious position, as Trump has a large and divided following. People who support him often face criticism, while those who oppose him do as well. In the aftermath of Hogan's speech, Stone Cold Steve Austin appeared to respond in a subtle but significant way. Despite his high profile and potential concerns about speaking out due to the sensitive nature of the election and the recent shooting, Steve Austin left a comment on Instagram on July 21st, just a few days after Hogan's speech. His comment was posted under a Nelson Mandela quote that read, To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. Steve's comment was, and people seem to have no problem doing this. It's disgusting. Many interpreted this as Steve Austin's indirect way of criticizing Hogan and distancing himself from Hogan's support of Trump, suggesting that he disagrees with Hogan's views and actions. Steve Austin's political leanings might be surprising to some. Though his rugged appearance might lead people to assume he is conservative, he has shown support for liberal causes in the past. He has defended a black man who was wrongfully fired from a job and has supported gay marriage. There were also previous reports suggesting that Austin was not thrilled about Hogan working with WWE because of Hogan's political views. A source close to the situation mentioned, Steve wasn't too happy about it. We talked from time to time and he was hesitant about bringing all these guys in here at one time because they were very political in the past. And I don't think Steve wanted to deal with that, and I think that was a little bit of the reason. This leads to a question for discussion. Is Steve Austin right to criticize both Donald Trump and Hulk Hogan for their political stances and actions? Enjoyed the video? Crave more excitement? Stay tuned by clicking on any of the cards on your screen right now for more thrilling content. See you next time.